is yours. So if that is you, put an alive in the chat. And I'm going to take you through this activation that's one of my favorite ones that I've ever done. But first, I'm going to chat just a little bit. Have you ever said to yourself, I don't have time to deal with this right now? I know that was me for a very, very long time. So you push that emotion down, you swallow it, and you promise yourself you'll take time for yourself later, but later doesn't come because there's a meeting, a responsibility, a deadline. Maybe we hope that anger or irritation that we stuff down just disappears. But instead, it gets stored within our body. And over time, those stored negative emotions quietly drain our energy. And not dramatically, and not even all at once, but layer by layer by layer, until one day you wake up tired, not because you haven't been trying, because you have. It's because you've been carrying too much for too long. And if that sounds like you, put a me in the chat. There's no judgment. Just really want to identify where we are. So here's what most women don't realize. Your body does not forget negative emotion, because just because you decided you were going to move on with your day, every unexpressed feeling, anger that you didn't speak, grief that you didn't have space to process, or resentment that you just swallowed to keep the peace, it doesn't vanish. It becomes energetic baggage, and the nervous system must work overtime to contain it. That's what creates fatigue and brain fog and that heaviness or tension, or that overreaction to something that's really small. And then maybe drives us to where we don't feel like ourselves anymore. So if you want to feel lighter and more energetic in just minutes, put some kind of an emoji into the chat, and we're going to start diving in, because this in just a few minutes, you're going to feel much differently. So just identify how you might be feeling today, or how you felt over this week. It might have felt a little bit chaotic. One thing is, you don't need to fix anything, relive anything, and you don't even need to explain anything at all. We're just going to breathe, notice, and release. So if you're driving, please pull over if you want to participate, and everybody else, get comfy in your chair. Put your feet flat on the floor, hands resting comfortably on your lap, and just allow some breath in your body. And for some of you, it may be the first time today where you've actually just sat and taken a moment just for yourself. And as you're allowing this breath through your body, close your eyes and just allow that breath through your body, allowing your body to breathe and just be. And on the next inhale, allow a breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Then in through the nose and out through the nose, and in through the mouth and out through the mouth, in through the mouth and out through the nose, and then in through the nose and mouth and out through the nose and mouth at the same time. And just notice which one of those breaths felt like it gave you the deepest, easiest breath. And whichever breath that was, that's the breath to utilize through the stress awareness and emotional release activation. So as you continue to allow the breath through the body, take a moment and think about your typical day. And on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not very much and 10 being over the top, think about how stressed you usually feel on one of your typical days. And as you're thinking about that, roughly how many hours per day are you spending in worry, irritation, or maybe just feel like you're bracing for the next moment? And as you're continuing to allow that breath through the body, just noticing without judgment, do you spend 30 minutes stressed every day? Maybe 4 hours, 10 hours, 16 hours, whatever it is, just notice it. And now bring to mind the most dominant emotion underneath that stress. And you're probably thinking there's emotions swirling all around. It could be frustration, fear, sadness, irritation, overwhelm, maybe even anger. But underneath it all, there's one dominant emotion that's hanging out there. You don't need to analyze it, just name it. And then notice, where does that emotion live in your body? Could be a tightness in your chest, heaviness in your shoulders or neck, maybe clenching in your jaw or tightening your jaw, maybe even a knot in your stomach. Continuing to allow that breath through the body, allowing that emotion to just be there without pushing it away. You don't need to amplify it, just acknowledge it. Noticing any sensations, any images, any memories that may be tied to this emotion. Now ask yourself, is there a resentment connected to this feeling towards a person, a situation, and maybe even yourself? You don't need the details, just recognize the connection exists. And as you continue to allow that breath through the body, now bring your hands in front of you, palms up, and imagine, what does this emotion look like? What does this resentment look like as you hold it in your hands? It could be an object like fire or a black ball. It could be a version of you. It could even be someone else. Just bring that image to your mind, and you're holding it in your hands. And as you see that image, ask yourself, what has this been costing me? My peace, my sleep, my joy, my energy? And also ask yourself, what would it feel like to just let it go? Allowing that breath through the body. On your next exhale, picture that emotional weight just dissolving like smoke into the air. You're not releasing the lesson, only the burden that it's been causing you. Not for anyone else, but for your own peace. And as you're allowing that breath through the body, once that image has dissipated, place one hand on your heart and the other on top. Just feeling your heart beating and feeling your breath beneath your hands. And say this out loud or to yourself. I am safe. I am supported. I'm allowed to feel. And I am releasing what no longer serves me. And as you continue to allow that breath through the body, just notice what's changed. Maybe you feel lighter or more open, calmer, more present. That's your energy returning to your body. Now taking your time and opening your eyes when you're ready, just put in the chat what you noticed is different. And here's one important thing I want you to remember. Negative emotions are not problems. We are emotional beings. We are going to feel them. We are going to feel all the emotions. And emotions are just energy in motion. When you don't have time to feel them, those negative emotions get stored in our body and we'll have to deal with them later. When you allow yourself just 90 seconds of presence every day to acknowledge what you might be holding on to, they move through. So I challenge you, instead of stuffing emotions, try this simple daily practice. Name that emotion. If it's anger, just name it. If you're frustrated, name it. Name it, feel it, breathe it, and release it. That's it. Because every time you allow negative emotions to move through your body, you're going to reclaim your energy, your clarity. You're going to reclaim yourself. And that is true energy alchemy. So thank you for allowing this moment, and I can't wait to see your comments, and I look forward to connecting.
Thank you so much, Heather. Remember what she shared. I am safe. I am supported. I'm allowed to feel what I feel. And that negative emotions are not a problem. We need to identify them. What a way to up our energy today, right? Our next guest and speaker is Amy Sanders. She's going to be talking to us today about the power of one. And Amy is a best-selling author, a master certified life coach, entrepreneur, creator of Awareness, Alignment, Abundance.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here and talk to you guys about the power of one. So thank you for this opportunity, Hannah. So good to see you. So with the power of one, I just first have a couple questions for you guys. And I want to see in the chat if this is you. Do you feel like you're doing all of the things? You're posting, you're doing all the different social media platforms, and you feel like you are not moving the needle. If that is you, comment below. Or it could even be, if this isn't business related, that you still feel like you don't have the energy. You feel like you're incapable. The truth is, you're not lazy, you're not incapable, and most women don't fail because they're distracted. They fail, or they think they fail. I don't think you're failing, but they think they're failing because they're spread too thin in too many places. But once you stop splitting your energy and once you focus on the one thing, magic happens. So that is what we're going to talk about today. And as Hannah mentioned, I've been an entrepreneur for a really long time, and I've had a lot of success, but I've had even more failures. And I definitely know what it's like to be the person who has bought all of the courses, consuming all of the information, following like the next strategy, and feeling like this is not working. Like, why is this not working? Or why am I not scaling? All these things can just also trip you up energetically, which Heather just talked about. I also know what it's like to look like you're successful on the outside. Sorry, I like to talk really fast, and I got to slow down a little bit, but to feel like you're successful on the outside, but on the inside, you feel like you're heavy. You feel like you're being inconsistent or you're misaligned. That was how I was for a long time. And I would see other people and I'd be like, man, it seems like they have all of the energy to do this. It seems like they always know what's going on in their business. And anyway, long story short, I decided to simplify, and I came up with what I call the power of one. And what I learned was that all of these strategies that I was doing and everything that I was trying to keep up with, that wasn't the problem. I was the problem. And I had to start doing something differently. And as soon as I did, everything started clicking in the different businesses that I run and the different things that I do. And so this simple strategy I have implemented in basically all the different facets of my life. And before we get really into it, I want to just like highlight McDonald's, Nike, Victoria's Secret, big brands. Big brands usually start with one thing, and they get really, really good at that one thing before they expand to their other offers. And so that's what I am going to be asking you to do when you look at your business, if you're an entrepreneur. And if you're not, that's also okay. I want you to look at your life and see where you can simplify your life by using these simple strategies. So the power of one, it's super easy, and it just gives you clarity. And people who've implemented the power of one have had so much success, and they have less brain fog because they have more to give. So the very first thing of the power one is to pick one dream client. Stop talking to everyone out there and focus on the one person. And when you talk to her, make sure you're talking to her in the words that she would use. So no coachy language, no fluffy language. Like, what would you say to her if you were sitting down in the same room as her and she was telling you her problems? What would she be telling you? And then you would talk to her in that same way. So that's the very first thing. The second thing is one core problem. A lot of times when we're in this industry, we want to solve all of the problems because we love to help people, right? And we see something that someone's struggling with and you're like, I can help you. However, that also gives more split energy. So if you focus on one core problem and you focus on talking from a place of what she would pay you today to fix. Don't create something without actually doing the market research, knowing that there is a problem in the industry, but understanding what would she pay me to fix today? What is on her mind when she goes to sleep? What is she thinking about? What is the thing that she is struggling with so hard that she would raise her hand and say yes to you today if you reached out and proposed your offer to her? So one core problem solved, one client. The next one is choose one marketing system. So often, and I know that I've been guilty of this as well, we go to all of the different marketing systems, right? We're posting on Instagram, we're posting on Facebook, we're posting on YouTube, we're posting on LinkedIn, and maybe we're even doing paid ads. Who knows, right? We're doing all of the things, and we're not really good at each one because we're so spread thin. If you were to pick one platform, like what is the marketing system that you love? And that's also important. Like if you are not aligned with your marketing system, energetically, things are going to fall flat for you because you will not be aligned with how you're marketing. And so when it comes to your marketing system, it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it does need to be one thing and stick with it. It might be that you love organic marketing, so pick one platform and get really, really good at it before you add another. Or maybe it's like you don't like organic marketing, so you stick with paid ads. You know, that's going to cost you some money, but it's going to be something that you can count on. So one marketing system, one platform. Next one is one scalable offer. And this is important because right now, more than ever, we are so scattered, right? We are like, everything's alarming. Your phone's always beeping at you. Your computer's beeping at you. Instagram's calling your name. Like there's just so many different things where we're distracted all of the time. And within that, if you have multiple offers, and if you are saying there's this thing you can buy from me, and there's that thing, and I have this thing, and you're just consistently putting all of that confusion out there, people are going to see you and they're not going to trust you. They're going to obviously think that this is confusing. Like, what does she even offer? So when it comes to one scalable offer, what I'm talking about is what is the one thing that you feel like you are very best at when you serve that dream client? What is the one thing? And if you do have a lot of offers, can you bring them together to be one core thing that you're always talking about? Always talking about. When you are known for the one thing, then when someone is talking about that, you're top of mind. When someone sees that, you're top of mind. Your marketing actually becomes easier because you are known for that one thing. And another thing I like to talk about around this offer, this one scalable offer, is if instead of chasing the shiny objects, which all entrepreneurs love to do, and we focused on just making our offer 1% better every single year or every single week, after 1 year, your offer would be like 52% better, which means that your offer would stand out among all of these other offers. It would just be like the choice because people know you, understand you, they trust you because you're always talking about the same thing. So one scalable offer. Number 5, which is a hard one, guys, is 1 year of commitment. Doing these 5 things for 1 year. What I see with my clients, especially new ones, is if you consistently do all of these things for 1 year, within that year, you can be hitting 6 figures with a completely new business. And I see this all the time because the first 3 months you're getting going. The second 3 months, things are really starting to move, like each quarter. And by the last, things are really moving. You have an influx of clients. Things are feeling really good. So most people, bringing it back, those are the 5. Bringing it back, most people don't fail because strategy doesn't work. They fail because they don't stay long enough for it to compound. So when you stay long enough for it to compound and you're focused on the one thing, you're focused on the one client, you obviously, or you will hit stronger too when they hear you because they will totally know what you're all about. It just makes things so much easier. So the women who are winning, which obviously is also Hannah, she's killing it, is the women who are not doing more, they're doing less, better, longer. She's able to shine. That woman's able to shine because she trusts herself deeply. And when she puts out a promotion, because she trusts herself deeply, those promotions land and people buy. And this is directly related to, which we don't have time for this, but this also directly relates to your nervous system safety. It relates to how deeply you trust yourself. How self-led are you, and what kind of leadership position are you being, not just for yourself, but for other people? Like all of this is combined because when you fully trust yourself and you trust the power of one, magic literally happens. So couple goals for you, or one goal for you is a couple questions to answer is, who is the one woman that you love to serve? This is also important. Not the one woman you think you should serve, but the one woman that you love to serve. She's like your dream client. If you don't know who she is, make her up. And what I want you to do is write it down. Like, write down everything about her. Like, how does she move? Where does she hang out? What kind of vibe is she? Like, write it out. What's the one woman that you'd love to serve? What's the one problem that she needs solved now, that she knows she needs solved now? And this is important because a lot of times we try and solve stuff maybe internally that they don't even know they're aware of. And so what I like to say is teach her what she wants now, and then give her what she needs through your programs. Also, where are you leaking energy? I'm a big person where I was leaking energy everywhere, doing all of the things. Where are you leaking your energy trying to do too much? Is there a way that you can simplify your life so that you're doing less? And where are you not deeply trusting yourself or your offer, and why? If you don't trust yourself, then obviously your offer is going to land flat. If you don't trust your offer, it'll also land flat, because energetically behind everything, it needs to flow forward, and people need to feel you behind your offer and feel you that you trust yourself enough to where they can also trust you. So Power of One is super simple. It's not about restriction. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, we'll feel like it's about restriction because I'm telling you to hone in and focus, but it's about devotion. It's about being all in on the one thing that you know that you're best at, to the one woman that you know you can serve deeper than anybody else. And when you're that devoted, it totally collapses timelines. You're able to do things so much faster, which is what my clients have been able to see. So this is the type of work that I do. And I did shoot it off really fast. I don't even know where I landed with time. Hopefully I landed well. So if this sounds interesting to you, you can connect with me. But that is the Power of One in a nutshell. And if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat and I'll happily answer them.
Thank you so much, Amy. I learned so much right now just listening to you. And I just want to say a huge shout out to all of our incredible speakers. I feel so energized, and looking through the comments, I just wanted to point out that one of them that stood out to me was sometimes less is more, right? And we don't have to wrangle everything. And I think that's what Amy was pointing out the most, is trusting yourself, trusting your instinct, the power of one, focusing on one thing at a time. And it really does work. So I want to take some time and go into the comments and let's see what people are saying. So far, we're seeing loved you so much. Anyone else want to share? Do less, better, longer. Yes, I love that. So as we bring on our next guest, again, this is all about energy. This one really ignites my soul. It has two of my favorite words. So we are going to have the phenomenal Sherelle Morris on, and her teaching is all about energetic economy is your breakthrough. And if anyone knows me, we talk about the women's economic system a lot. Sherelle is an entrepreneur. She is a mentor, a bridging shamanic wisdom with business strategy, creator of energetic economy, and instant zen. Hello.
Hello there, lady. Thank you for creating such a wonderful space. So, just to stay on time here, you know what's fascinating? We live in a world where we've mastered the visible 10% of everything. We have strategies, we have tactics, we have marketing, funnels, the business plans. We've got frameworks and formulas and 5-step processes everywhere. And yet, most entrepreneurs are exhausted, struggling, fighting uphill every single day. So why? we're ignoring the other 90%, the energetic economy. So let me explain what I'm talking about here because it's a little unique. Imagine an iceberg. You know how you only see about a 10% of the iceberg and it's visible above the water? The visible part is what we focus on in traditional business trainings. Your website, your social media, your sales process, all important and all necessary. But the other 90%, it's underwater, invisible, and it's massive. That's the 90% that I call the energetic economy. Allow yourself just to move back, say, 4,000 years. Yeah. Ancient wisdom traditions have understood something that modern business trainings, it's completely ignored. That training is important, but everything is energy. Your business has a frequency. Your offers broadcast a signal. You present, your presence itself creates a field. These are invisible forces. They determine success more than marketing strategies ever could. So here's what it looks like in real life. Two entrepreneurs walk into the same networking event. Same industry, similar experiences. They both have their 30-second elevator pitch locked down, memorized. One of them gets 3 clients. The other gets polite nods and crickets. What's the difference? It's the energy behind their words. One is broadcasting, "I'm desperate, please hire me." Not the best plan. The other's broadcasting, "I am grounded in my power and I know exactly how I can help you." People don't buy you from your words. They buy you from your frequency. This is energetic economy in action. Another simple example was a client of mine, a brilliant woman, had an amazing service, killer website, but she was in a plateau and had been there for several years. She tried everything. Business coaches taught her and more content and add better funnels. And then there's networking and nothing moved. I didn't touch her marketing. I didn't rewrite her website. We shifted her energetic signature. Turns out, energetically, her business was broadcasting, "I'm not ready to grow." It was like having one foot on the gas and one on the brake. And so energy allowed her to shift. We cleared that block in one session, and within about 2 weeks, she found like an amazing client, and everything moved forward. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, that this sounds just a bit too woo-woo, and where's the proof? I've been working through this for the last 45 years as a shaman, also as someone who was planning conferences and producing conferences. And I ended up realizing that what I learned from my shamanic training was extremely important to fixing problems in a conference. My clients knew what I did, but sometimes it was my own conference. And so we did that. But recently, one of my teachers, who is wonderfully trained in an ancient practice, brought together 100 CEOs and the entire New York Police Department to work with his skills. The results? There were major breakthroughs because his work is about clearing stress in a moment. And that's what happened. These weren't hippies sitting out in a circle. These are hard-nosed business leaders and law enforcement professionals. Why did it work? Because stress, overwhelm, and energetic blocks don't care if you believe in them. They're affecting your performance whether you acknowledge it or not. And his work with a beautiful image of Mother Nature is astounding. He works in that 90%. So what gets hidden and what is invisible? Think about it like this. When you walk into a room, you can feel the energy. You know immediately if there's tension or if people are relaxed and calm. And you can sense when someone genuinely is happy to see you versus just kind of being polite. That energy literacy, you already have it. You just haven't been taught how to use it strategically. So instead of forcing strategies that feel wrong, you align with what wants to flow, what you feel within you. And instead of competing for market share, you create your own abundant reality. So instead of grinding yourself into exhaustion, you tap into forces that make everything easier. So we have ancient wisdom. We have quantum forces, energetic support, synchronicity, intuitive downloads, creative breakthroughs that arrive fully formed with the right person showing up at exactly the right time. Most people call it luck, but it's not luck. It's what happens when you align with the energetic economy within you. When you learn to work with these invisible forces instead of fighting against them, business stops being a battle and starts being a dance. And it works. Hannah can tell you about her dancing. It is powerful. You know how some entrepreneurs make success look effortless? Like something just flows from them? They're not working harder, but they're not smarter than you either. They've learned to access part or all of the 90%. And it's where some special gifts that only certain people have can step through. And those gifts are waiting for you. We all have this access to the power. We have just been conditioned to ignore it, to dismiss it, to focus only on what we see and measure and control. But when you learn to tune into frequency where clarity lives, when you align your business to potential, profit, and purpose, instead of just chasing revenue, when you clear the energetic blocks that keep you cycling in the same patterns, everything shifts. Not in years, maybe in months, and sometimes in a minute or two. It's not about abandoning the 90%. The strategy and the tactics, they're very important. It's about, however, finally accessing the 90% that actually determines whether the strategies will work or not. There is truth. It's ancient wisdom for a modern challenge. It's invisible forces creating visible results. It's accessing the power that has been there within you all along, just waiting for you to remember to use it. Do we all have magic? Yes. Most of us don't use it, however. And the energetic economy teaches you to find that switch within you. And when you do, you have access to the full 100% of your power. Impossible becomes inevitable. Struggle transforms into flow. And success starts feeling like your natural state instead of something you have to fight every day for. The world is providing it. The universe is supporting it. The question is, are you ready to access it? Thank you. I have a gift here for you. Yes, Hannah, I talked about your dancing.
I'm like this behind the scenes, like, whoa.
So, yes, that has to be one of our nights in February 22nd.
Oh my gosh. I took so many notes. I think I loved when you said business stops being a battle. It's a dance. And so is life. Like you were you were on one today. Woo! Wow. All right. My energy is like Hannah 10.0.
Thank you,
Cheryl.
Yeah. This was just great. I'm like, okay, ladies, can we do this like monthly?
Absolutely.
That would be fun. For those of us who are not necessarily really good for getting visually out there, this rocks.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you, Cheryl, for joining us today. Ancient wisdom, modern challenges, meaning, yes, ancient wisdom can help modern challenges. You just have to tap in. So thank you. Please put in the comments your favorite part so far.